Okay, so in this video, we're going to try to tackle the age-old question of organic versus conventional. So we're going to try to compare the price of the organic avocado with the conventional avocado. So the first thing that is stored is whether it's organic or conventional is in type. So let's drag and drop that into the columns field. And you'll see there's no data yet, so we have both in there. And the next one is our average price. And of course, that's going to go to our row field. Now remember, if it's not already averaged, if you didn't choose that by default, you could use the drop down and choose measure and select average. Now in our case, there's a couple ways it could show. It could show as a bar chart. We'd like to start as a circle. It doesn't really matter. We're going to make some changes to it. But you could see pretty quickly that the average price of one is about $1.61, and the average price of the conventional is $1.17. Now that's fine, and we see the average overall of all of the observations in the data set, but what if we wanted to get a little bit more granular? Well, we could do so with the observation ID, right? So this is where we had those 17,000 plus data points. And what we could do is we could take it and drop it over the detail key. Now we do have to make a change because when it was read in, it's read in as a number. We want to click the drop down and set it as a dimension. And the reason why we're going to do that is now when you hover over it, we're going to get each individual observation, right? Each individual breakdown of every single data point that we have. And it comes nicely in a box and whisper chart. So the first thing we'll do in the box and whisker chart is if we hover over it, we'll see the upper whisker is $1.90. Hinge right here is $1.35, median $1.15, and so on. And you can see the difference between the conventional and the organic with the lower whisker here. We could also kind of see that there's a lot of outliers, right? So it looks like there's a lot more volatility here in the organic for whatever reason. And we could see there's some of the outliers on the top. In this case, observation ID 17056, average price at 325. But let's say that wasn't good enough. Let's say we wanted more information. Well, where did that come from? Why is it so far out? What we could do is we could use something we haven't used that yet, which is called a tooltip. And so the first thing we could do is take region and drag it over tooltip. And let's also take our supplier ID and do the same. And now when we hover back over that, we'll see, organic. And in this place, it came from San Francisco. Makes sense for being expensive. And it came from our A supplier, right? On the cheaper end, that outlier, that is from Cincinnati Dayton area, and it came from supplier C. So you might be able to look at the box and whisker chart, get some ideas about variability, volatility from here. Before we call it quits with this one though, it still looks a little bit too close. So let's take the type field and drag it over color. And it just gives us a little bit easier way to see the difference. Finally, we'll go down and give it a sheet name. Let's say rename, and we'll say volatility. Volatility. Now you'll see as in before, the sheet updated. Okay, so now we took a look at first some supply and pricing. Then in this video, we took a look at organic versus conventional pricing. In the next video, we're going to see if we could detect any seasonality. So we'll start our new sheet and we'll meet you at the next video.